What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of, you guessed it, Monday with Bray. Today, let's do a bass episode. You're watching Monday with Bray, and this is Summer School. All right, you just hit the button. Hit the button. All right, guys. So I thought we could talk about the bass today. Specifically, a 3-pedal all-in-one bass rig. Everything that you'll ever need from this rig. I've been using it for a couple years now, and it's been pretty great. And let me just say this before we get started: is all of this is my opinion, so take it or leave it. Leave me nasty comments or give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk about the first pedal that we're gonna have, and this one is kind of cheating, I don't know, but we're gonna talk about the HX Stomp. So if you have been watching this channel, you know I'm a big user and fan of the HX Stomp and HX Stomp XL, but today I have the normal size HX Stomp. It's going to be our first pedal. So in this guy, we are going to use a couple effects and mainly just our amp sounds. That's what I use it for. So if you haven't, bass players, if you haven't checked out the HX Stomp, if you haven't used one, you are missing out. Stop sleeping on the HX Stomp and pick one up. Those run brand new $650-ish, I think. So used market anywhere between, I've seen them as low as $450 if you're lucky. Second pedal we're gonna talk about is a drive pedal. So I have a couple here. We have the Lauren Audio Mustang right there. This is a preamp style overdrive. We have the October Audio November Drive. I picked this guy up in Nashville a couple weeks back. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And then I also have the JHS Morning Glory. If you haven't seen the Morning Glory video, I'm a big fan of Morning Glory on bass. I think it's a great bass overdrive. Our second pedal, any overdrive of your choosing. It could be a bass overdrive, could be whatever. I like these three. So we have 2 pedals now. We have the HX Stomp, we have the November Drive, and then our last sort of pedal, our secret weapon, if you will, is going to be the JHS Color Box. This is version 2. So this guy has been my secret weapon for a couple years now. I use it at the end of the chain. This guy gives me just easy on the go EQ. I can reach down and adjust something really quick if I need to instead of diving deep into the HX Stomp. I like this guy, and it just gives the bass a little bit of sweetness on the end. Those are our 3 pedals, and guess what? I know you're asking questions. Braden, when are we going to put that on? I have this little tiny little board. This is the Creation Aero 18, I think, something like that. I have the riser, the install right there, and then I have the One Spot Pro by True Tone on the bottom. This is the CS6, and it's kind of a slimmer version, and then you just throw that down on your board with some dual lock or Velcro, and then we got that going. So that is the board. 3 patch cables and 3 power cables. That is all you need to run this rig. I 100% believe that you could tour with this board. You can do what I do. I'm a church bro, so I play church with this board. You can go out in the garage and play with this guy. This is just all around good rig, and I believe it's bulletproof. So 3 patch cables, 3 power cables, the board, power supply, and then our 3 pedals, and that is the rig. I know you guys have a couple questions, and I can hear you asking, you sir, what was that? What about a direct box? Well, sir, guess what? We don't need a direct box with the Color Box version 2. We flipped this guy over. We have XLR out. We can go straight out of this into front of house. That's what I do at church. I'm sure if you're touring, whatever venue you roll up at, you can go front of house. Or this guy also has a 1/4 inch out, so if you use a backline amp, or the venue has an amp, or the church has an amp or whatever, you can go 1/4 inch out straight into the amp. So That solves our direct box problem. Ma'am, you over there. What about a tuner? Okay, so here's where things might get iffy. If you had a little bit bigger of a board, you could add a tuner. What I do, I use a little clip-on tuner. So I'm using the Diodario Nexus 360 tuner. It's super tiny clip-on tuner. Just use it on the headstock right before I go out. Take that bad boy off, put it in my pocket, and then I'm tuned up and ready to go. If you're a church bro like me, just go ask your guitarist to plug it into his Kemper right there and then tune that bad boy up right before you go out. If you're on tour, you got a tech, don't you? Get your tech to tune your bass up, bro. No, I'm just playing. I would grab a little headstock tuner and you're going to be set. Let's go ahead and get this board just wired up, built, and then let's plug it in and hear a couple sounds. Hey guys, welcome back. I have the board all wired up over here on this stand. Check out this top-down view. And here we have the board. So we have the Walrus Ages. I swapped that out for the November drive. So here's my drive, the Walrus Ages. Then we have the HX Stomp and the Colorbox V2. So a couple things about wiring. For the overdrive, I like to put it in the effects loop of the HX Stomp. So if we go down here, this is our signal chain right here. We have a compressor first, and then we go to our next block, which is an octave. And then we go to the next block. We have a 70s chorus, then our effects loop right there. So I like to put the drive in the effects loop because I don't want my drive before my compression, before my chorus and octaver. That's just the way I like it. To each his own. You could go to your drive pedal, then straight into the HX Stomp, or you could do what I do. I run the drive into the effects loop. So next two blocks are the amp and cab sim right there. The next block I have is a reverb block. So I don't play with the reverb live. I just like to practice with a little bit of reverb. It makes it sound like the rig is in the room with me. It's just a little more real, if you will. So that's the reverb block. And then the last block, I just like to put a one switch looper, just in case I'm messing around or something. So that is my signal chain right there. So out of the HX Stomp, we go into the JHS Colorbox V2. Like I said before, that is just a little bit of tweaking at the end, easy access to an EQ or something like that, and just adds a little something to the overall tone. So that is the signal chain right there. So go ahead and grab this bass right here. We have the Glory Guitars Cornerstone bass. This is in shell pink, and the thing about Glory is this is a jazz body, but it's got a P neck, and then it's got a P pickup, and then down here in the bridge position, we have a TV Jones. I forget what it's called. Thunderblade, maybe? Something like that. If you know in the comments, just leave it down there. Then we have volume, master tone, and then the switch. So the switch is the P is always on, and then you add the TV Jones. So when we are up, we add the TV Jones, and then down is just the P. So let's see how this guy sounds just clean. Okay, so this is literally no effects. This is the bass DI straight into my recorder. Dang, actually that sounds pretty good for DI. So let's add our amp sims, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn the reverb block on. I'll show you what it sounds like. This is off. This is the amp sim. If you're not at this point in the video, I would suggest that you wear a good pair of headphones. That way you can hear all these frequencies going on. Alright, so that is the clean tone of just the bass and the amp sim. Let's go ahead and turn that reverb block on. pretty subtle, but like I said, I just like it. It's kind of like a little bit of glue. It holds everything together, if you will. And then let's go ahead and turn our color box on. So here's no color box. So, like I said, just adds a little bit of sweetness. All right, so let's go through the rig and how I would use it and just some things about it. So, I think a cool thing about the HX Stomp, if you use the effects loop, is that you can go ahead and leave your overdrive on completely, and then you can actually assign the effects loop to one of the foot switches like I have here. You don't have to do that since this is kind of a minimalist like 3-pedal board, but if you had like a bigger board and you had that HX Stomp towards the bottom, you could throw one of your overdrives up towards the top of your board, leave it on all the time, and then you could access it via however you say it, this HX Stomp switch right here. So there's that option. And then I also have 2 effects on here along with the overdrive. I have this octave right here, octaver, this bass octaver right here. And then I have a chorus. So I love chorus on bass, and I love octave on bass too. And also drive. So let's go ahead and go through those effects one by one, and we'll see how they sound. Here, again, for reference, is our clean tone. And that is the HX Stomp with the amp sims, our color box, and that plate reverb just a little bit on right there. So let's go ahead and listen to the drive. Again, this is the Ages by Walrus Audio overdrive. Here we go. So that is the Ages overdrive. Next we have the octaver, and then that sounds like this. So if I don't have a 5-string, I do have a 5-string, but if I only take one bass to church or a gig or something like that and want that almost 5-string feel or sound, I use that octaver, just clean with nothing else, and then I can hit that low D right there. And then that low C. And then that's about as low as I'll go. Sometimes you can go to this B right here, and then that A. Sometimes that's stretching it a little bit though. Next we have chorus. So I like a slow chorus, like a pulsing, something like that. So I go. Like a subtle type deal. You can definitely hear it more on the higher notes. And then on those lower notes, it just gives it a little, just a little modulated feel. And then we can combine effects. So usually I like to have a fuzz as well, but I don't have that on today's rig. But if I combine the overdrive and the octave, you can get sort of sort of get into synth territory, add that chorus in there as well even, but this is just the octave and overdrive. Add that chorus in there. Alright guys, so if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go down, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Check out our other videos on this channel and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to check out our merch, and also you can check out these pedals. They'll be linked down in the description as well. I think that's about all I have to say. If you want to check out Glory Guitars, I don't think he has an Instagram anymore. His name's Jim, out of St. Paul, Minnesota. But you can always check out his website. We'll link that down in the description as well. That is gloryguitars.com. Super huge fan of his work. I'd like to get another Glory done, but this is the only one I got for now. I think that's about it. I've been Braden. This has been a 3-pedal baseboard for touring, church bros, or the garage. I think it covers all of those bases. Also, you can swap out the drive for whatever you like. It doesn't even have to be a drive. You could put a compressor on there. You could put an octave on there. You could put a fuzz on there. There's so many options. I don't even... This has been Braden. This has been the 3-pedal baseboard. And this has been Monday with Bray. I hope you guys had a good time, and we'll see you later. Peace.